Welcome to the very life where we sold everything, the wife and I, put everything into a couple of suitcases, and we decided to retire here in Korea. Now, usually there's a couple of questions that we get. Why did you retire in Korea? And the second question being, what are your monthly expenses? So today we're going to go over the expenses so you can get an idea of what the wife and I spend. First question on why will be in a future video, but expenses are a big reason for that. So let's get into the biggest expense, rent. Now, rent is really subjective because you can live pretty inexpensively or as lavish as you want. Rent rates depend on location. So, for example, if you're renting in downtown Seoul, it's going to be a little bit more expensive versus a smaller town or away from the city center. Now, we live in an apartment in Anjingni, close to Pyeongtaek, and it's about an hour south of Seoul. And there's a military base close by, which is back behind us, Camp Humphreys. And we live in a one-bedroom apartment. So let's take a look, show you what I mean. All right, here we are. We're in the elevator, heading up to the penthouse, which is the 13th floor. And we'll take a look at the apartment. Okay, there we are. This is the hallway to the penthouse, to where we live at. Pretty nice marble floors, the whole 9 yards. And as you come into our place, we've got a little ring doorbell action there, a little camera action. Got a place where you can take your shoes off. And then this whole area here is cabinetry. So in other words, it's just full of storage. All of these. So that's a lot of storage. If you got a ton of shoes, that's awesome. And what we end up having is a mirror so that you can check out yourself before you go, which is pretty nice, and that works out too. This button here is really interesting because if you press this button, it turns off all the lights in the entire apartment when you leave. So you don't have to go back and turn off each individual light. So if we come back in, that turns them off, and then that turns them on. So that's kind of cool. So we come into here, and we have a couple of things. We have the bathroom off to the left. As you can see this here. Yep. We've got a nice standing shower, really big. Nice. And everything slopes towards a drain. Got a toilet with a bidet, and then we've got the mirror, the sink. Pretty nice. We've got cabinetry for all those bathroom items that you have, and it works out kind of good. Come back into the hallway. Here is the master bedroom and the only bedroom. So we've got a queen size bed. We've got like a little bookcase action. We've got some storage for some where you can hang up your clothes. You can see that there. On the wife's side, she's got some with a couple of drawers in there that's really nice. Our view here is really, really nice. I just got some, you can see that, nice. Camp Humphreys is out there. You can see a bunch of buildings off in there. That's awesome. So again, we're on the 13th floor, the highest floor here. And that's our bedroom. Has an air conditioner, has in-floor heat, which is awesome. And that's it for the bedroom. We come out here to the living room, and it's partially furnished. We got the couch, got a little end table, coffee table, TV with a stand, little table, no chair. And then, of course, we have the wonderful view from here as well, which is pretty nice, especially with these windows. The great thing about this is that it heats up the apartment really well, so we don't use a lot of gas. So that's a bonus there. And we spin around. This is for the front door. It's a kind of a Ring video camera system type thing. So you can actually see who's at the door when they ring the bell, and you can talk to them. And this is for the lights, the light switches. And here we go around. We've got a little bit of a cabinet space there for some stuff. And this is the efficiency kitchen. which isn't too bad. We've got a number of things here. We've got a washer, no dryer. We've got induction stove, 2 burners, very small sink, microwave oven, water, dispenser. We also got a little water pot. And then there's our refrigerator, which has got some foodstuffs in there. Then down below we have the freezer, and then a bunch of cabinet space for dishes and all that stuff. And of course we have some more storage down in this area here. And then over here we have a walk-in pantry. Look at that. Walk-in pantry. We've got a lot of storage there. We have gotten a bit of food, so we're gonna have to move all that when we move eventually. But that's the tour of the apartment. So not bad. Not bad at all. Again, in-floor heat, on-demand water system, water heating system, which is all here. So there you've got the on-demand water heat, so that heats the water in the shower. The washer also does the in-floor heat. And then of course we got the couple of air conditioners as well. So, and that's the other air conditioner right there. Definitely use that. So as we go over and check everything out as far as expenses, when we were here for a month, we used the air conditioner every day. So keep that in mind when we go over the numbers. But that's it. That's a little tour of our place. Now let's get on to the expenses. So now that you've seen the apartment, let's go over the monthly expenses. Now, what we end up seeing here is our rent. Now, first of all, our rent is 650,000 won. It sounds like a lot of money, but it's only about $490, depending on the exchange rate. Not bad, and it's definitely a lot cheaper than what we would pay for a similar sized place in the United States, which was Southern Colorado, where we used to live. Now, we also have some other expenses, and that's what we end up seeing here. Here's a copy of the bill for all those things, and of course everything is in Korean, but I use Google Translate or iTranslate so you can see everything in English, and it makes things a little bit easier. Now for our apartment, you can see that we have a lot of different fees, such as management, cleaning, disinfecting, repair, maintenance. We've got the elevator. There's also a value-added tax as well, and a lot of those things, it kind of sounds like it could be expensive, but it's not. What's really cool about this place is that a lot of Korean apartments include electricity, water, cable, TV, and the internet with the rent price, which is really, really nice. We have a mailbox, we've got underground parking, but we don't use that. There's a security guard guy here, so those are all bonuses as well. So when all is said and done, the monthly apartment fees come out to about 172,000 won, or about $130. Not bad considering the month that we were tracking, we used the air conditioners every single day. Now, this is way better than what we had when we were in the States. Hell, our stateside water bill and electric bill was about $130 to $150 per month. And that doesn't include, internet, cable TV, water, sewer, trash, or any of that stuff. So let's take a look at how much we pay for city gas to heat this place. So here's the gas bill, and on it we can see there is a hot water demand system and the floor heating. It's a base rate of about 1,047 won. Monthly usage is about 27,000 won. A value-added tax is about 2,800, and a discount of 8, and it brings our monthly total to 31,150 won, or in US dollars, $24 a month. Now that is a huge savings compared to what we paid in Southern Colorado, which is about $175 a month, depending on whether it was summer or winter. So we're saving about $150 a month right there. Let's go over the amounts and see the total for the monthly expenses. Rent is 650,000 won, or $490. The apartment fee, like we said, is 172,370, or about $130. That includes water, sewer, trash, cable TV, and internet. Such a deal. For the city gas, it's 31,150 won, or about $24 a month. So when we do all the mental math and everything, it comes out to a grand total of 853,520 won, or in US dollars, $645 a month. That's pretty good. So how does this compare to us living in the United States? Let's look at it. Now, where we used to live in southern Colorado, to live in a one-bedroom apartment the same size as this, your rent would range from $650 to $1,200 per month. And you have to remember, none of those places included any utilities whatsoever. But what about the place that we were living in? It was a 3-bedroom, like 5-piece full bath, another full bathroom, a powder room, a full-size basement, about 4,000 square feet. And our house payment was $850. But a caveat on that is that we put down a huge chunk of money to bring that payment down. Our electricity each month averaged about $125 a month. Water and sewer was $65 a month. Trash was $20. The internet was $65 a month. And gas heating was $65 a month, maybe a little bit more. Property tax was $140 a month, so that comes out to a grand total of $1,330 per month, not counting food. So how does that compare to this place in Korea? Well, like we said, the rent is $490. The electricity, sewer, water, trash, internet, all together was $130. The heat is about $24 a month. There's no property tax, so the total came out to $645 per month. So when you do the math, it ends up that we're saving about $685 a month by living here in Korea. And when we do get our own place, when we buy an apartment, we'll probably save even a little bit more. So that's a bonus. Now, another question that we get is, okay, you've got your monthly bills. How do you get them and how do you pay for them? And those are good questions. Now, we get the bills and they're mailed to us. We have a mailbox here in the apartment complex. And then we have basically the rent and utilities and the apartment fees. That all goes to the manager, the real estate rental manager, I guess you could say. And the other bill goes to the local bank, which is actually on the first floor of this building. There's a bank, and that's where we pay for the city gas. Now, some management companies will have it so you can pay your rent, all those fees, and your gas at their office. So that's something to ask if you decide to retire or live here in Korea. Now, some people have messaged me and asked me, are there cheaper places? And that's a good question, and there are cheaper places in Korea. There's basically one-room efficiency apartments that are smaller in size and, of course, lower in price. And then there's also the Goshiwons, which are small dormitory-type places that are really small, and they're even cheaper in price. Now, there are several types of Goshiwon, and they go by different names here in Korea, such as Goshitel, Livingtel, Residence-tel, One-Room-tel, but they're all registered as Goshiwon, as a type of business here in Korea. And about 80% of the Goshiwon are located in Seoul, which is about an hour and a half north. Now, the prices for these places range from about 300,000 won to 700,000 won, or 225 American dollars to 530 and more. Now, the other thing we want to talk about is the key money. Now, that's something. In the United States, when we rent a place, we pay a flat monthly fee, and that's your rent. Now, in Korea, they have the key money or key money deposit, which is a type of lease where, as a tenant, I would put down a very large deposit, usually equaling about 50 to 80% of the property price. And then I would have a very reduced monthly rent after that. The beauty about this is that it gives benefits to the landlord and to the renter. The landlord gets a big chunk of money, which he would be able to take and use for, whatever, putting it in a bank and getting good interest. And then the tenant, in return, gets a lower rent because he puts such a large down payment. So it kind of has some benefits for both of them. I really wish the United States and other places would have key money deposit places to be able to make lower rents to make housing more affordable. But we can only hope. Now, it should be noted that up in Seoul, these key money deposits make up about 70% of the lease or the rental agreements up there. So anyway, Goshiwons are a great option if you're traveling. Let's say you're going to stay here for a couple of months, or if you're looking to save money.
Now, with everything, there's the pros and the cons. So let's go over some of those things. The pros for Goshiwons, that they're affordable. They have minimal furnishings. They're usually in good locations that are close to universities, schools. They're good for tourists, professionals, or even expats. Now, some of the cons is that these places are tiny and they lack ventilation. Some places don't even have windows. They don't have a lot of storage space. You're going to have to work and live in shared spaces like a shared communal bathroom or kitchen or living and dining area. And the soundproofing in these places isn't really that good. So while Goshiwons are not for everybody, they do offer a low monthly rent price and they're worth considering. Now, there are some websites in English that you can check out Goshiwons, and one of them is goshipages.com. Most of these are in Seoul. I haven't really seen any in a lot of other places. But before you rent a Goshiwon, go see it in person before you do. What I have noticed with Korean real estate is that pictures and what happens in real life can be two different things. So make sure you check it out. Anyway, so that's it. I hope this video is helpful and that you can see the difference between us living in the United States versus living here in Korea. And another thing that I would like is if you could like this video, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on our retiring and being an expat here in Korea, and leave a comment, question, love to hear from you. It's got to go pay some bills, so we'll see you on the next video. Peace. Make sure you like and subscribe to The Varied Life, and you can see more videos, and we'll see you there. Peace.